Bobby Show. My name's Steve Williams, of course, and I'm here with who? Guess who I'm here with again today?
Man, I'm always here.
Oh, that's right, my man. I'm here with Bobby Bleed too.
I missed a couple days sometimes. Oh, come on.
The original OG who has left me hanging for about 4 or 5 weeks. No, you've been back. No, I'm just playing. What's going on, Bobby? What's happening, man?
Oh, man, we're getting ready to vote, right?
Voting, man.
We gotta get ready to vote.
Voting is
ballots are in. You got yours. I got mine. I want to go in and turn mine in. I usually go to the polls.
Right.
Every year, even though I get the absentees just in case I know I won't be there.
Yep.
But I plan on being there.
Yep.
And I think it's kind of important that I actually drop it off now and do it now because, I may not be able to go in the polls. COVID's here. We don't know what's going to happen. If you get COVID, you can't go, right?
I'm hearing some states like in Georgia. I'm hearing some Oklahoma. They're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 hours in these lines.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Georgia. Never voted in Georgia because I wanted to stay safe. I want to be alive and be here today. So can't be a Democrat in Georgia. No, that's actually a purple state. Isn't Georgia a purple state?
Did you see the lines out there?
Yeah.
Those lines, those are all Democrats out there, man.
Yeah. So well, they should have did the mail-in voting. We've been telling you about this. Hey, put what an official. Well, let's do this.
But how do you mail-in vote? Or if you have your vote, and you don't want to drop it off because you feel that Donald Trump is going to do all the crazy stuff with the mail. So
you want to put it in an official mailbox.
Right, a ballot box.
Ballot box. Take a look at that ballot box. What did that say?
Official ballot
box. I voted. You see the little colors, a variation of the colors. You see that yellow on the top. That's what an official ballot drop box looks like. So we have actually have a great guest today. So we have a guest today. Her name is Jessica Mahoney. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great. So glad that you're here. So we're going to talk about something that you discovered that seems to be happening not only in Fresno, but in Orange County and some other areas. It's been all over the news. Yours is actually the only video that I have seen online that shows the actual thing that's going on. So what I want to do is I want to show what Jessica captured, because you captured actually something pretty interesting. We're going to show you this video, and then we're going to come back and talk about it on the other side. Take a look.
Who is it exactly?
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. There was a.
He took it off the other day. I don't think it's.
Why'd they do that?
I don't know if it's inside the box.
No, I don't want to open it either. I don't remember.
Hold on.
the
Okay,
guy's
that's
name.
cool. I was just
Yeah.
checking. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Do you know when you're going to get any 9mm shells in?
Well, I'm hoping today around 12:30.
Okay, cool. I'll come back. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I'll try and find out.
Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So Jessica, Ms. Mahoney, tell us exactly what we were seeing there, and if you can kind of walk us through what we just saw.
Well, that was my second stop here in Fresno. I wanted to see for myself if this was real, if it was fake news. You can't really trust anymore in the news cycle on both sides. So I was like, nah, not on my backyard. So I went in there and asked if I could drop off my ballot there, and they pulled this box out from behind the counter. And at first, the manager wasn't there. The girl was all, I don't know much about this. Let me call my manager. And so I just wanted to ask a few questions. Who is taking the ballots? When are they getting picked up? Are they signed in the back that you're releasing these ballots? And it was just basically a cardboard box you can buy at Office Max. It wasn't secure. There was a printout on the front that said, authorized secured ballot. And the first place I went to was the gas station, and that guy got the box out. He actually opened it in front of me, and there was ballots inside, and they were face up, so I couldn't see if the backs were signed. But there was about 8 to 10 of them in there, and I think after a while talking to him, he realized that he felt uncomfortable. He said, well, if you're feeling comfortable, but he was saying that he's authorized. And I said, well, who picks up these ballots? And there's a video where you can hear me talking, and he's on videos saying that people from downtown come and get them. I'm like, well, who's downtown? Finally
So
said
real
the
quick,
voting
real quick.
office.
I'm sorry I interrupted you real quick. So what we're seeing is a business put a you said it was labeled official.
Authorized.
Secure ballot drop.
Right. And it's not, right?
No,
And
no.
We all know what an official, let's put the official ballot box
Yeah,
back
yeah.
up, because
Yeah.
there's a difference.
Yeah.
That is what an official ballot drop box
Yeah,
looks
that's,
like.
I think, in LA, Orange County. Ours
Yeah.
is a little bit different here
Yeah,
in
what's
Fresno
ours look
County.
like?
I could pull it up.
Yeah, we could pull it up. We could put it up later.
We'll put it up
on
what
there.
Fresno counties
Yeah.
look like.
Okay.
And Fresno counties is like a 700-pound bolted box
Okay.
in front of legit places that are authorized by the county clerks of Fresno County.
So they basically just had this cardboard thing here.
Yeah, and
saying
let's be honest and say they. Let's
Yeah.
who say they. It's the Republican GOP of Fresno County.
Right.
They actually listed these drops on their website, and then since have took them down. It was also on their Facebook since took them down because they are
Yeah.
illegal.
Right. There was about, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something like that. There was multiple shops in which the GOP actually allowed on the website, say, here, if you can't mail it in, drop it off at these locations. And in these locations, it's not like this was just for the Republican Party to drop it off. It was for anybody and everybody to drop it off. And the mere fact that you said, like, they saw it, they didn't, they could just open it, they could take a look at it, they could decide if they want to throw something away. Because remember, the Republican Central Committees and the Democratic Central Committees all have access to like voter registration files. So they know just by the name if you're Republican or Democrat. And so authorized and secure, guys, generally means that it could be, no one's watching it and you can't steal it without like some drastic measures. It's a cardboard box. It's a cardboard box. It's not going to be secure, right? So yes, let's call them out. It's the Republican Party that's doing this. In Fresno, the Republican Party in Fresno really pushed out. And when we say Republican Party, we're talking about if you're a Republican looking, no, you might not have been involved, but you're leaders of the party that are here in Fresno County, in Orange County, in Los Angeles County. We're doing this. And today, they are defending themselves.
No, and they admitted it. They're thinking it's ballot harvesting. That's not how you ballot harvest. That's, ballot harvesting per California law, it has to be 3 days. They have to be signed affidavits in the back, and you have to take it immediately to a real location that the county clerk's office authorized. You can't keep it in a gas station, in a church, at the smog, in your file cabinet. It's a shame that they're so worried, and they're the ones spinning that the thing's rigged when they're rigging it.
We've talked about that.
Yeah,
right.
we talk about it religiously.
I mean, right, guys? The Republicans talk about fraud all the time. The Democrats are going to fraud, right? And you know what? The only ones that really get caught for voter fraud are the ones who are doing it, which are the Republican Party.
And I think this is what confuses me about this whole situation, right? So we're talking about, with the exception of Los Angeles, we're talking about Orange County. Orange County, by capita, is probably one of the most deeply red counties in California. We're talking about Fresno, California, where we're living, where we shoot this show. It's probably another pretty red county. So I don't understand what they're gaining by putting these ballot boxes in these locations. I don't understand that. I could see if they were doing it in Compton or Watts, right, or East Los or whatever it is. Why are they doing it in already predominantly red counties? This is what I'm confused about. This is what I don't understand. What are you?
Like
what
they
are
don't
you
need to
gaining?
actually
I got
do
a
this.
theory on that.
What's the
theory?
I think they're worried that it's going to turn blue.
Yeah.
I think people, I know Republicans that are voting for Biden just because they don't like Trump.
Yeah.
It's not, my personal stance is country over party. Wrong is wrong on both sides. Like, I've been interviewed all over by multiple agencies, and I told them if the Democrats would do this, or any agency, if it was my union doing this, I would have called them out. If wrong is wrong. But the Republicans, I think they're worried. They're worried that their game is up. People are onto them. And the part that I didn't like is they're saying they're authorized to do this. They are not. And they're now the state seeds saying that we're not going to back down. We're going to keep collecting ballots. And that's wrong. Our Republican DA hasn't said a peep. Our Republican clerk hasn't said anything.
Oh,
Brandy Orr.
Yeah,
Or-
she just put a statement out that said, "Don't drop these in these boxes."
She
You know.
collected them. She did report them.
Yeah, but I
yeah.
want to see them. I wish they would have took a camera crew down there. How do we know? How we know how many she collected? Did they verify who these people are? Did you call them and say, "Hey, did you drop this at the gas station?"
But Sarah will take care of that. He should have that stuff.
So-
they should have took those things, and I don't know exactly what has happened so far with them. I know they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
And we know that they
You
took them
hope.
off the website. But like you said, the head of the Republican Party in the state is saying we're going to do this. Devin Nunes just said on KMJ radio the other day, screw you, you guys made up the rules. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. These rules that we made up is like you can give them to your friend. If you're immobile, you can give them to your daughter or your brother to turn it in for you. And when
Yeah.
you do that, like you said earlier, sign the back, put your relationship. And when you drop it off at a box, you have no idea who's going to drop it off. You have no idea who's going to take that. You have no idea if it's secure or not.
The illegal
That's why that is illegal.
Yeah.
Right? In those areas, sticking it in a ballot box is like the drop-off location within an official place, like official.
County seal
So,
on
right.
it.
And I think the GOP, their stance is, we're going to take official off of it. I guess that's their only fix. So their fix here is what's
You
the
can't
congresswoman?
take-
What's the congresswoman in Orange County? I love it.
Well,
The one that-
there's well, Katie Porter.
Katie Porter. Okay.
Because Orange County is pretty much as representatives as blue.
So I guess your theory could be right? Because you got Katie.
Well, they want to go back to red.
Right. Well,
You got
so
Katie-
here's the other question.
Katie Porter, Holly Ruda. You got a bunch of.
Do you think they're scared
Democrats
of
there.
Arbajo here?
Do I-
Nunez losing.
Do I think? I think they're scared. I think they're scared that if Arbajo gets close,
Yeah.
that's bad for him already. Nunes has to win by double digits this time around.
Yeah.
Right. That's what and they're not going to. They're not going to. Right.
So
And
you think
that's the thing.
Arbajo get close? Will he get as close to as Jans?
I hope he wins. I mean, that's where our votes are going. That's what we need. We need Nunes gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone already. We just need our tax dollars not to go fund wherever he's
His
at.
farm is somewhere else. They don't have a farm here.
He don't farm.
the
That's why he's
cows
not a
voted.
farmer no more.
Yeah.
If you notice, he's not a farmer anymore. It's not on his ballot.
Yeah, so I guess the idea here is the fact that the importance here, especially within this segment here that we're trying to express, is make sure that who and where you're turning your ballots into are being turned into certified voting locations. Okay, you need to do that, or you need to be in person and vote. Okay, those are your two options. Now, I don't know, we're headed to probably some very long, I mean, here in California, we're pretty safe. We're a hugely blue state, and they usually have a lot of polling stations. But there are places, like we were mentioning earlier in the beginning of this segment, where there's 4, 5, 6 hour line. There's some that are longer. There are some where people have to bring chairs. I've seen stuff where
8 hours.
Yeah, hours of wait time. So you need to be prepared to that. This is why mail-in, is so important. And not only that, where you're turning those particular mail-in ballots and who you're turning them into. So make sure that it's certified. Make sure the places that you're turning them into are places that are registered within. I think if you go to the register.org site that we're going to do, and we're going to have this segment later on, a different segment where we're going to explain in detail how to vote, where to vote, to see if you're registered to vote. We're going to do all of that today.
How to check your ballot.
Yeah, how to check your ballot, make sure your ballot's checked. I even have them here. Look, I got them all here. And we're going to discuss this stuff.
So you know he didn't vote yet, but
Yeah, actually I did, but this is my
I have
daughter.
to take that and drop that
there
off
you go.
for you.
Hey, actually, this is my
that would
daughter's.
actually be legal.
But do you know where I'm taking it?
All right. I mean, so let's get back to it real quick,
Yeah.
because this is, I want to know how you actually felt when you went in there. Just, was it pressure? Did they pressure you to put it in? Is it just there like nonchalantly and people like, oh, look, I could drop it off here? I mean, did you hear anybody? I know you saw ballots, which those people better be, they better be, they are responsible for and accountable for all those ballots that went in there. So hopefully they turned in a count, right? But, I do have a kind of a soft spot for advocates in a sense that, if the Republican Party came to you as a business owner and said, it's official. Because it sounded like they really believed they were official. They really believed that downtown people were going to come and get it. And I think Republican Central Committee, they have an office downtown as well. But just wondering how you felt, how they made you feel around it, like it was perfectly fine.
Well, in my heart, I was going a mile a minute. I knew it was wrong. They were selling it to me like it was legit. I mean, the guy at the gas station basically said, "We are authorized." And when I kept pushing him, "Who's authorizing you?" He basically said downtown, the voting office. He said the voting office.
The
And-
voting office.
Yeah, he actually
He said
he
the
didn't
voting
say,
office.
no one, at the two places I went to, no one said the word Republican, Central Committee, GOP office. They were acting like legit from the county clerk pickup sites. That's the problem we're having. Not the whole, they're trying to spin ballot harvesting. No, they were legit ballot drop-off places, and they were acting like them when they weren't. And I was nervous. I wanted to go to all of them actually, but I was like, oh my gosh. The guy came out and was like looking at what vehicle I was driving. So I was kind of getting a little nervous, and I was like, oh my goodness. You know, when you find, it's like being somewhere at the wrong time, like watching a bad accident, you're like, am I seeing this? You know, I just couldn't believe it. I was like in shock, and I was just like, wow, they're really doing this, you know?
I mean, what do you think, Steve? Online, I've asked people if these, everyone involved should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But I mean,
GOP
there
needs to
is
be
some,
accountable.
there is something, yeah, there's something of using your position, abusing your powers as a Republican Party, or if the Democrats did this as Democratic Central Committee, if they did this, I feel that they should be held accountable. But there's a certain level of trust I think that they're taking advantage of.
Yeah.
Republican parties coming through and saying, hey, would you like? I bet you they probably signed paperwork to do it.
Like it's official.
Yeah, and
from
they're going
what
to throw
I
these people
heard-
under the bus.
Yeah, so what you're saying, I see what you're saying. So your angle here is that not so much the business owner, right? It's the GOP in itself, the California GOP, right?
Right.
Is
Not
that,
so
is that
much
your
as
angle?
business owners should know.
Yeah, because maybe they think it is certified.
They
Hey,
may
this is an
think it is.
authorized.
Yeah, they
Here's the
should kinda know,
paper.
right.
Just tape it on there.
Yeah,
I guess that's a good
Yeah,
point.
At your location, where the video that we saw right now was at a franchised place or corporate office place. I mean, that they have a lot of stores. We don't have to say the name. You saw it in the video. It's going to be interesting to see if the manager actually gets fired, reprimanded.
Well, that was the owner,
right? There's no
I'm
owner.
not sure, and I don't want to, I'm not for boycotting any of these businesses, because from what I've gathered, it was all Republican county office that set this up. It was very, they had to take times to seek these businesses out, what kind of affiliation the business had with these drop-off. Some of them knew, some of them didn't, or,
And I
it's
think
the
that's the
point
angle you're
is they worked on this. Obviously, I mean, to do 12 different drops throughout the whole Fresno County in businesses, I didn't see no churches on the list. It was all legit businesses. And now, if some of these are corporate businesses, like some of them are, that's out of our hands, how corporate wants to handle that. But you're doing illegal things. I'm there for my gas. I'm not there to drop my illegal ballot, or illegal ballot box. It's why are you using your work time? If I do stuff on my work time, that's, there's a whole big thing. And it's not just election law. There's a lot of other regular laws, fraudulent, that they should be looking into as well. The chain of command that these ballots go through, even at the real county office boxes, a guy certified, he has a badge, he's been fingerprinted, who these people are picking up the ballot. So, hey, John didn't show up with the ballots to our secret ballot counting office. Hey, we know they've been fingerprinted. We know what vehicle they're in. Not like, Joe Blow at the gas station.
Yeah, and I think that's the angle here. The angle here is not so much the business. I think that's what you were trying to get at, right? It's not so much the businesses, because the businesses may think that, hey, the GOP, or whoever authorized it. Hey, I'm just doing my civic duty. Just coincidence that every single one of them are Republican. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's
let's
not
get the benefit of
coincidental.
the doubt.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, it was-
some of these
yeah, it was
locations
pointed.
always have Republican quotes outside.
They know
the
who their
places,
donors are.
The gas
Yeah,
station
yeah,
you talked
they do.
about.
They know who their
And-
donors are.
and
They know who
their donors, their supporters, and where their people are coming through.
And honestly, I think, these so-called drop locations weren't really like, those people didn't go to those locations. I think they were picking them up elsewhere as well. I think they're going to churches, they're going everywhere. Each person at those locations were in charge of the box. I don't necessarily, I think that they were using it two ways. I think they were going to the churches or different, club meetings they belong to and just say, hey, man, just drop it here. But what are they doing with the ballots? If the state didn't step in, or if I didn't find out what I found out, November 3rd, would we be all like, oh, hey, 8:01, all these ballots came in. What happened? Who
Right.
knows what they
At
were
the
going to
same
do?
time. And remember, we live in a blue state. So we have folks out here that are Democratic and they're going to be watching out. We have folks that are independent that aren't going to go party line ticket, for propositions and
Yeah.
for candidates. But so people are watching, but this is predominantly a blue state. Now, that's why I think, in a sense, it got caught, especially in our red areas where we're trying to change. But look at the red states. Is this going on in the red states? Look, we got viewers. Some of you live in red states. Take a look in your areas, in some of these places where a lot of people frequent. There might be unofficial ballot boxes there, because I can't think that this was just the California Republican Party thinking
This is
about
a national
It's a
effort.
strategy they had.
This was a very well planned out strategy on a false basis of that this was ballot harvesting. Come on.
This is one
Right?
of those things like the gerrymandering things, the redistricting. It's all part
Yeah,
of
look
the
at
big
Texas,
plan.
how many voter places they had miles away, and it's sad that there's not more protection in other states.
Yeah,
That
Abbott's killing Texas right now. He's putting one in each county. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what's going on here. So I think here in all of this, again, we're going to reiterate the fact of make sure you're turning in your ballots at official ballot locations. You can find these out through the
well, they
register.
came with your voter information. If you open your envelope, it's in there.
Yeah,
It should be in
yeah,
there.
that's true. But what I'm saying is, even individuals that haven't, because there's some
Yeah.
people that haven't registered. I know people even in my own neighborhood that haven't registered
Yeah,
yet.
well, there's same-day registration now in California,
Well,
so make sure they do so,
But there
man.
are
Get
some
them out there.
states, and we're
Yeah,
going
it's too
to
late in
cover
some
that. It's
states,
too
yeah.
late.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so, and we'll cover that a little bit
And
later.
so,
but-
I mean, the big thing here that I think we need to get the message out there, we've always said it, they're going to find some way to cheat.
Yeah.
The one thing that we've seen, and everyone knows I'm a proud Democrat, right? And,
Yeah.
and one of the things that we see that the very wealthy, the elite, what they've been able to do, okay, has been able to take advantage of loopholes, things that are not specifically spelled out so that they can go do the wrong thing. We've seen this administration do the same thing, right? So everywhere they can cheat, in a sense, where they're going against the intent, that's what they're doing. So you're going to find them trying to make rules. I'm glad that the Republican Party chair here in California, or whatever it was, I think they call him chair, said that what they are doing is absolutely legal, and he explained exactly how they're doing it. Because there's some, I think, loophole in there. If they had said, no, you're dropping it off for Bobby Bliatu. Bobby Bliatu's picture's right here. He ran for office. Bobby, yeah, he's turning it in for you. So he's going to put his name on there, and then he'll sign it and he'll turn it in. Then in that sense, that kind of makes sense. There might be some, leeway in there. But you were right there. You got it on video. Like, I don't know who's picking it up, but we're turning it in. I mean, this is what you're doing. That's absolutely illegal. That's against, it's right there.
Yeah.
How can you not know?
And for them to say, screw you, and we'll take it to the courts,
that was Nunes
it's like
who needs to
they,
go,
they
so-
want to take it. Well, the head state GOP party said, we'll see you in court then. We're going to keep doing this, and we'll see you in court. And so now they're hoping, to push their narrative onto court and tie this up. It's like they're messing with our whole Republican democracy process here. And it's really, they're looking bad. It's like they're not lawyers on both sides, They can't interpret the law, only the law and the officials.
Yep.
It's like if you go ask daddy and daddy said no and mommy said no, and then you ask your grandparents, no means no. Well, they're going, well, we're going to do this ballots. You can drop them there. Well, how many people said no? The Secretary of State, Attorney General, the local DA, the local county office. No means no,
Yep. And so Republicans, even though you back what they're doing, we always talk about the integrity of your vote. Put them in a place where your vote is really going to count. Turn it in, put it in the mail, go to a real ballot box or go to the polls, but don't just drop them off in any other location that's not in your pamphlet or your brochure, okay? And in Texas, they only got one in the county.
Yeah.
So if they start putting it in stores and everything, don't turn them in there. Even if those people agree with you, don't turn them in there, because your vote might not count. It might get tossed out.
Yeah, and you see, it's we're in some scary times. This last 4 years, the kind of manipulation, their way of going around the laws, it's scary. Okay, it's no doubt that in every party does this in some way. So let's not act as though they don't. But at the level that the Republican parties are doing it here, and because in general, and I feel this as well, in general, the Republican Party, as it stands now, was already in decline. We saw that in a lot of, Trump kind of gave it that little last boost because of there's 8 million voters, 8.5 million voters that voted for Obama that ended up voting for Trump. Trust me, I'm almost willing to bet at least half of those is coming back. Mm-hmm. Because I don't see how you can vote for Obama and then just vote for they're not alike. Maybe when Trump was running, because he was running, we talked about this a lot too. He was running on a lot of progressive and
there's a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Trump put a lot of stuff out there that he was going to do, and people were saying no, he's going to ruin the country or he's going to do certain things that people won't allow him to do. And in these last, almost 4 years, we've watched him do those things that we were afraid he was going to do and get away with it.
Yeah.
And so we know now in America that we won't always stand up and stop people from doing things that that we all know are wrong. Mitch McConnell's, we know where he's going. Give me the judges, I'll turn my blind eye.
I heard a very scary statistic today when I was filling gas. Ironically, today I was filling gas and I was listening.
Don't drop your ballot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, ballot box.
CNN.
I mean, they're gonna get back at us and just put ballot boxes next to the handle.
Do you know that Trump has placed 1/4 of all judges federal judges across the United States? 25%.
Yeah, he has
It's
put
the
in.
most judges in history.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in a 4-year term, but in history, period. He's like 6 judges away, and he's going to meet that goal, and he's going to surpass it. That's how scary this is. Supreme Court justices, he's about to put 3 of them on there. That's 1/3 of all the Supreme Court justices in SCOTUS. SCOTUS, these appointments and these federal appointments are for life. So this is why voting for who you want and who you're supposed to be voting for and where you're dropping your ballot boxes are right. You need to make sure that they're official and they're going to the right places. That way your vote is counting, because we talk about this all the time. Your vote needs to count. And even though we talked about this Al Gore back in 2000 Bush situation where they're saying they're not, they do. In the long run, they do. We have a representative democracy. That's just the way we live. We really need to move forward on this, and just don't go to Chevron.
Since you did go out there and you did go and do this, and thank you very much for doing it. I mean, this has taken off. You can tell us kind of where it's gone to, the people you've talked to, but also in that, can you also let me know if you've gone out to any of these other places to see if they still have them?
I haven't. I've been wanting to, actually, because today I think is the final cease and desist day. So I might do some more undercover work and see what's going out in the community, see what's going on. And back, I want to make a comment about the federal judges. He's also looked into it, impeached some federal judges. Anybody that leaned kind of to the left. Look at that lady on the East Coast that got her husband and her son killed. She was a federal appointed judge, a first Latino judge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they'll go, when people say, your life depends on voting, it really does. It really does.
The son and the husband died, right?
Yeah, I think the son died and the husband got severely injured. Mm-hmm. They acted like a delivering a box to the judge's house and, opened the door and opened fire on the family. So these judges and a lot of these high officials, they have to take extra security measures because, look what happened to the Michigan governor or Minnesota governor.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse
we
me
had
if
a
I'm
show
wrong.
last week on
Yeah,
that. Mm-hmm.
It's scary out there, and as a gay woman, I gotta really be careful if Trump gets back in office. They're coming for my rights,
Yeah,
Oh,
Well, we got you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, what they're trying to do and say, the stuff that
Yeah,
the
it's
rumblings that
scare
are coming
tactics.
through, that I've seen, some SCOTUS say that, they want to get rid of gay marriage. things that they have planned coming down the line, and wait for something to hit Supreme Court again and what they're going to do.
Yeah,
So
bring me back if you want to talk about that subject.
Yeah.
I'm well versed on that one.
we need to continue that fight. We can't be just California guys. We need everybody across this nation to voice out how we feel, because SCOTUS should not be a group that changes the law. Although their interpretation does kind of change the intent of the law, it should not be a place where people have an intent to change the law and go there to do it. And that's exactly what Donald Trump said during the debate. That is exactly why we talk about having people in there. And it should not matter what your party is. We've
Judges,
judges.
Judges.
Yep.
The
It's very
checks,
important.
checks and balance system. People forget about, there's the third, branch. There's also the fourth branch, the people. The people have the say. We're still a republic, and they want to change the Constitution and want to change the checks and balances that we use, for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court shouldn't be looking at. They're the last tier. They shouldn't be reversing Roe versus Wade, gay marriage. Some of these, I do think they need to look at Citizen United, but that's a whole nother
Woo, we had about
topic.
eight shows on that one.
Yeah, so
We don't see people getting elected or appointed to judge based on Citizens United.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something
It's-
that we're going out, hey, we need, getting judges of integrity, people who can look at the law and interpret the law and see what it was intended for and how it's supposed to work with all the other laws, that's key. So you can have an opinion. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. As a judge, you're going to have an opinion. We're human. You can believe it should be one way, but it was written this way, and this is what the people wanted, and you are to support that as a judge, not looking at any parties, not looking at your opinion, but following your
Or
logic of what the
religion.
law says. Period. Don't go in and go, we got to find some way to overturn it. No. You don't belong in there. You've showed a motivation to move away from your mission, from what your job is supposed to do, and why you were appointed. And today it's become, we're appointing you because we know if this comes up, you're going to go this way.
yeah,
Shit,
we're
And not even knowing the kids.
And I was going to say real quick too, and I was looking right here. Sorry about that. If you guys haven't seen the confirmation hearing of Amy Barrett, and we've talked about this a bit, she's going to get appointed. Okay, there's no way around this. It's going to happen. But you need to look at Sheldon Whitehouse, Congressman or Senator White. I don't know if y'all seen that, where he breaks down about the Citizens United, the Federalist Society, the appointing of judges and corporations involvement, and the money that's going into not only putting judges in places, but getting SCOTUS picks. Basically, the Federalist Society. Well, you need to just go watch the Sheldon Whitehouse, because he talks about this very thing that we're talking about here. And this is why it's so important. This is why me and Bobby consistently are talking about how important it is in having your representative represent the people to which they're going to Washington, D.C. They should be representing you, the people.
Right, and the way that works is you can tell by the way that people are voting and the people that care. So please, if you don't vote, some people will look at it, and electeds will look at it as that you don't care. I don't know how many times I've talked to other congressional leaders or other electeds from outside the area, and they're like, Bobby, what's wrong with your people? Your people don't care. No, it's not the people, but sometimes our folks, our Democratic folks, don't have, unfortunately, the time or the means to get to the places where they were. We had good turnout last time. We're having a better way to vote. Some people just can't get out there, or they're told that they can't vote, or Republican Party puts out fake ballot boxes where people turn them in where they can, throw them away. So please, guys, pay attention to where you're voting. Do your very best to ensure that nobody is cheating. And I'm not saying go to the polls and watch like Donald Trump said. I'm just saying, make sure that people are turning him in correctly and getting to the right places, and that your representatives or what we have here is we have a county clerk, voter registrar, Brandy Orth, who kind of sets up these rules, and you can hold them accountable for the way it goes in your area. Not every county in America is the same way, but you need to pay attention to those rules and get them in. And if it's too much work for you, or you have questions, just type, in Facebook or something and put a message here, and we'll do our very best to answer it. You have help everywhere, okay? So please get it in correctly.
Okay, Jackson, I appreciate you coming.
Well, thank
here,
you
man.
guys. I appreciate it.
I really enjoyed this conversation. It's important. I think what you did was important.
Thank you.
Okay, and it's important that people understand what's out there. I don't care who's doing it. You mentioned that earlier. It's wrong. Make sure that you're turning in your ballots at official ballot boxes. It's that simple. I mean, we can throw that thing up there one more time. I think you said that's the Orange County one or LA
Yeah,
one or
yeah, I'll
something.
get you guys.
Still, it looks
Yeah, you can
something
Google
like
what the
that.
Fresno County one
It's
looks
going to
like.
look something like that.
Yeah.
It'll look something like
It looks
that.
safe, secure. It does look authorized. It's not a cereal box, you know, with Captain Crunch behind it and putting something. You know, this is real.
Cheeto box.
Right. And let's see that other video. That other thing. You know, show the video one more time.
Oh, yeah,
what
let's
we're
do
talking
that.
about
We'll
in
do
case
that.
if you just jumped in the middle. This is why we're here today.
Who is it exactly?
Yeah.
I don't know the guy. There was a.
He took it off the other day. I don't think it's. I don't know
Why'd
if
they
it's-
do that?
I don't know if it's inside the box.
No, I don't want to open it either. I don't remember.
Hold on.
the
Okay,
guy's
that's
name.
cool. I was just
Yeah.
checking. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Do you know when you're going to get any 9mm shells in?
Well, I'm hoping today around 12:30.
Okay, cool. I'll come back.
That's why these things are important. So things like that don't happen. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching the Steve Bobby Show. Of course, you guys can tune into the Mad Talk TV's Facebook page. There's so many different things that are on there. We have Supermax Nation. We got the Fighter's Voice. We got what's the other one? Help me out, KP.
Hip Hop Scene.
Hip Hop Scene.
In Touch, Glam.
In Touch, Glam. We got a bunch of stuff there. Make sure you guys tune in. These are all local shows here that are filmed here in the central part of California. Make sure that you guys watch the Steve Bobby Show because we're going to get into some other stuff about voting, the particulars about voting, and some of the things that Donald Trump says. I know I have to say that all the time. It just makes my ears dwindle. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys tune into to more of the Steve Bobby Show. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.